All right, so yes, my name is Ben, and I'm from North Carolina, and I'm here pretty much for this film camp. And so my film camp is basically about two people who have had struggles in their life and how God has brought them through. And even though they're completely different stories, they have the same outcome. And I picked that topic because most of the people who leave the church leave because they feel like God hasn't been with them in their hard times, and they feel like He's forsaken them. So, one of the favorite things that happened over the span of 2 weeks was we went tubing, and turtles, just other things, and we got to swim and tube, which was really fun. Some people tried water skiing, which was hilarious to watch. And with our films, I enjoyed creating my story because you can just let your imagination run wild and do whatever you want to do. We did editing, which was a struggle, but we enjoyed it. And a lot of people didn't like writing the plot of our stories down on paper. They didn't. It's called storyboarding. They just did not enjoy that. It took some time, but we got it done. And so I found a verse that kind of went around along with the theme of my short film, and it is Mark 16:9-11. And it's talking about when, after Jesus rose from the dead, he appeared to Mary Magdalene, and he was reminding her of all the things that he did for her, and then he told her about what he had done for the Father, what the Father had done for him, and it was kind of like a little testimony. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, and it's my short film, my testimony.
Thank you, Ben.
So I remember this one time our church, they put on this program for a whole bunch of teens and youth, and it was held in the gym of our school. And I went to that with my sisters, and I actually didn't like it inside. It was too hot and stuffy. So I got my cousins and like my sisters and a few other friends, and I took them outside to the playground of our school. And there's this thing called a maypole in our school. It's like a huge pole like that, and has like handles and chains going like that, and you grab a chain, you like swing around. And so my cousin and my sisters and his girlfriend started playing on that, and they started swinging around. I decided I was gonna jump in. So I grabbed one and I started swinging, and all of a sudden I hear like the maypole start cracking. And last thing I knew is I woke up and there was a huge pole just laying across my legs. They looked like they were crushed. And so they got the pole off, right? Everybody was panicking. They were like, oh, we're gonna need to take him to the hospital. And once they got it rolled off, they started picking me up, but I was like, no, I'm fine. And so after that, I stood up and I started walking around. And that's when I realized that I was actually okay, that nothing actually happened to my legs, even though they looked like they had been crushed and even like about to be severed off. And that was really one big experience that has resonated with me, and since then has shown how God is always with you.
I remember my 7th grade year. It was my first mission trip. For about 2 weeks, we went to the country of Belize in Central America. In the middle of the week, we decided to go out and to do some snorkeling and just to relax. When we got in the water, the one surprise that everyone was shocked to see was actually a huge sea turtle just swimming around and having its own little fun time. A lot of people were enjoying every little bit of it. They were screaming, they were shouting, and they were just wiggling around in the water like they were crazy people. The tour guide didn't even know what to do with us. But I remember in the midst of this crazy scene, I was so distracted by everything that was going on that I didn't realize that my life jacket string had touched a jellyfish and frightened it. And once it was stuck on the life jacket, it touched my skin. And for a while, I tried to kick it off. I was trying to get rid of it because I didn't know what it was at the moment. And then I realized when I turned around that it was this pink little jellyfish that was just probably this big around. I remember wanting to swim away and just get away from it, but my foot couldn't move. I couldn't do anything about it. But I remember I just paddled until we got near the boat, and then I was able to look at what damage had been done. It turned out that I had this huge, it looked almost like a stain from my knee to my ankle, and it was just a burning pain, and it was just so overwhelming. So that night I laid in my bed and I tried so hard to just go to sleep, but it wasn't happening. For about 5 hours, I battled with God and fought with God and prayed to Him and begged Him that He would ease the pain, but nothing seemed to work. I kept going for 1 hour, kept going for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then the hours I couldn't even count them anymore. So even in that moment, it was sad, it was hard, and it was stressful, but what was crazy about it was I was at least at peace. God did His best to comfort me, and I know He did. I felt like crying, I felt like getting upset, but He was still there with me, even though others weren't there with me. So that was the biggest blessing that I experienced on that mission trip.